But I'm so super excited to be here. I'm so happy to explain to you my process, the no shampoo life, what that looks like, what that means, and if you are interested in the no poo journey, what you can potentially expect. And I will dive into the opportunity to share with you my no shampoo method. As you can tell, my hair and scalp really love no shampoo. I want to preface this how-to with a little bit of expectations, where you might have expectations, and then I'm going to just answer the questions that you guys asked without adding too much fluff and without going on too long of a rampage. So I really want to encourage you all, first and foremost, set your intentions why you are doing this. Your hair will change. It will not be the same as it used to be. It will style differently. It will feel different. It will be very greasy for a while, and I'll explain why. So if you're really stressed out about that, maybe going cold turkey off of shampoo is not the way to be, and we're going to talk about that as well. Maybe transitioning to low poo is a better option for you. So we're going to talk about all these things, but first and foremost, I want to just say, be curious about it rather than having super high expectations, and set your intentions. Why is this important to you? And I'll share with you my intentions. When I started this journey, it was January 2019. So we are going on almost a year and a half of no shampoo. And I have used shampoo randomly over the course of that time. And every time I do it, I end up regretting it, to be honest. So, for the most part, for the last year and a half, I have not used shampoo. And my intentions when I started the journey was this. Number one, primarily toxic load. I wanted to lower my burden, my toxic burden in my body. Think about this, guys. I know often we hear that what we put on our skin, we absorb, but think about nicotine patches and birth control patches. There's a reason why they work. You can put a sticker on your body and not get pregnant. You can put a sticker on your body and get the same amount of nicotine as if you're going to inhale a cigarette, right? It's the same thing with our scalp. Our scalp is no different than any other part of our body. So any toxins that we put in our scalp is going to absorb into our body. So for me, I've been on this low toxic journey for a very, very long time. My journey started in 2009. I have an autoimmune disease that I've been able to holistically manage just through diet, lifestyle, optimizing my gut health, and lowering my toxic burden. So this was one of my main reasons why shampoo, I would look at the ingredients, and even the low tox ones have stuff in them that I just was not interested in putting in my body. Now, that being said, a low tox shampoo might be your best way to transition off of shampoo completely. So we're going to talk about some of these things and options for you. But really, before you start on the journey, write down your intentions and why it is important to you, because it's going to be a journey, right? So that was my number one intention, less toxic load. The second thing was my autoimmune disease manifests as psoriasis on my body. So I really wanted to explore how my scalp would react if I stopped stripping it of all the natural oils of my scalp. So that was a really important thing for me, right? If you have psoriasis, if you have rashes, if you deal with hives, you know how frustrating skin conditions are. So I thought, right, I'm willing to go through this process of the oily phase to really see through this. It was really worth it for me. Another really important aspect for me was that I'm a digital nomad. My husband still works on yachts. I travel the world, and traveling with products just really makes things more difficult. Products are heavy, they're expensive to buy them everywhere we go. It's a pain in the butt. So really, I just wanted to lighten my load physically, emotionally, mentally. I did not want to have to carry around with me bottles of shampoo and conditioner. I just got really sick and tired of it. And I also got annoyed with having to spend money all the time on shampoo. I really wanted to create a flow in my life where I was lowering my burdens, not just toxic wise, but also the energetic and physical weight in my life, right? Which also meant financially, that financial burden of it, right? I wonder how much money I've spent over my life on shampoo and conditioner. Like, let's think about this, right? And lastly, I wanted more balanced oil production. So I started experimenting with oil production in my body a long time ago. In high school, I used to have really bad cystic acne and pimples. And I noticed that my skin was really oily. And the way I was combating that oil was over washing it and over drying it out. So I had this kind of like random intuitive thought one day, like maybe I'll just put oil on my face and my skin won't have to produce as much oil. And sure enough, it worked. Over time, for years, I only used coconut oil on my face as lotion. And with daily exfoliating and daily oil treating, my acne cleared up very, very quickly. Now, this is a disclaimer here, guys. Everybody's skin is different, which means your hair is going to be different as well. But my intention in sharing this is that the reason why, if you do not wash your hair for a day or two, you get so oily is because for years and years and years, you've been stripping those natural oils away from your scalp, right? So your oil glands in your scalp have had to work really hard to keep up with producing oil because we want that oil down in our lower locks for luscious hair. And we keep stripping it. So it creates this endless cycle of I've got greasy hair, now I've got to wash it. Now I wash it, 2 days later, I've got greasy hair again. So this is going to help me lead right into my first question. How often do I wash my hair? Wet and cleanse with product or no product? If product, what is it? So this is really important. The product that I use is actually an item. This is what it is. It is called a shampoo brush. Now, I have been dry brushing my skin since 2009. It is a Ayurvedic practice of draining your lymph, of turning over your skin cells, and exfoliating that top layer. So when I saw the shampoo brush, I thought, oh my gosh, this looks so similar to my dry skin brush, but made for my scalp. Go to my website, chelseahaynescoaching.com/shop. It will hyperlink you, scroll down to skin and hair care. It will hyperlink you to my Amazon storefront. You can get one of these for $6 on Amazon right now. It's like a no-brainer. The way that these work is you massage your scalp. So you're not gonna brush your hair like you would a normal brush. You're gonna take your little shampoo brush and in circles go around different areas on wet hair in the shower. Ooh, it feels really good, even just doing this. It's like when you use a Q-tip and clean your ear, you're like, start drooling. Right? Who can vibe with that? Raise your hand. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna move around your head and exfoliate and massage your head with your shampoo brush. This is going to be game changing for you. I do this probably 2 or 3 times a week. So I shower daily. I don't use a lot of soap. Again, unless you have a really high grade filter on your water in your house, which a lot of people do now, which is amazing, you are showering with tap water. That tap water, unfortunately, has chlorine and fluoride in it, which are not great for us, but they are pretty cool for cleaning our hair without needing a lot of extra product and toxins in them. You add your shampoo brush to that equation, and I promise you, you will have no issues with clean hair. So the shampoo brush is gonna do a couple things, right? You have lymph nodes in your head, right? We all know these lymph nodes here. If we have a sore throat, what's the first thing we check is right here, right? This lymph node, you might be able to see it. It usually will get swollen, right? Same thing in our head. We have lymphs all over our head, and we want to drain those lymphs. We want to stimulate oil production and skin cell turnover in our scalp. On top of that, this is going to help the oil, the natural oils of your scalp, move away from the roots, and the water is going to naturally encourage it to move down into your lower locks. So about 2 days a week, I wash my hair with water and a shampoo brush. Again, I shower about daily with a little bit of soap in my pits and privates only. You don't need soap all over your whole body. You're messing with your skin microbiome, which is messing with your gut microbiome. It's another conversation for another day. Pits and privates, guys, pits and privates. Kill the bacteria, the bad smelly bacteria. Otherwise, you're fine. And other than that, I wet my hair probably twice a week, maybe 3 times, if that, right? Oh, but what if I work out every single day? All right, so wet it with water every day if you really feel like it. Again, remember, this like reverts back to the very beginning. Set your intentions and understand why you are doing this. Did it worsen my psoriasis at first? That's a good question. I want to say yes, it might have, because my scalp was so used to I would use anti-dandruff shampoo, that it took some time at first for it to come back to a normal state. It definitely got worse before it got better, right? So if you've ever gone on a detox, if you've ever done a cleanse, you most likely will feel worse before you start feeling better. That's because your body is ridding itself of all of those toxins that are in your body, and it's going to bring the symptoms to the surface. So encouraging those toxins to come out. I was working out every day and sweating it out, using my shampoo brush and encouraging that cell skin turnover every single day. Now, this being said, once or twice a week, depending, I do condition my lower locks. So I rotate through. I do not have one particular brand or product that I use. There is a brand out there called Thank God It's Natural, TGIN. I think I found it at Home Goods on sale, and all of the ingredients are super natural. I can read them all, I understand what they all are. I believe they have a conditioner. They also have a leave-in cream that I really like. So once or twice a week, I will use a conditioner. Again, I try to stay away from my scalp, and I condition my lower locks. Again, as your oil starts to naturally balance out and the oil from your scalp gets pulled down to your lower locks, you might not need to condition so often either, right? The dryness will kind of balance itself out. The reason why your hair is so dry and brittle is because you've been stripping it of your natural oils your entire life. Yes, you have dandruff. Okay, the dandruff shampoos are definitely, it's kind of like taking antacids if you have chronic heartburn. They might give you temporary relief, but long-term they're causing way more issues. So a few things to look into here is apple cider vinegar and baking soda. I personally have never done either of these. No, that's a lie. A couple days ago, I tried apple cider vinegar on my lower scalp here because I felt a little irritated. It stung a little, and then it was kind of fine. It was kind of like one of those like, ooh, hurts so good kind of feelings. And then I just rinsed it with water and then moved on from there. But definitely do your research, right? I am no expert at this. I'm just somebody who intuitively was like, I'm gonna give this a whirl and then share my experience. So look into baking soda and apple cider vinegar options for you for dry, flaky scalp. Does my hair feel thicker since I've done this? I don't know. I'm not sure. I've always had a lot of hair. Like, believe it or not, my hair is actually quite fine, but there's a lot of it. I would say I have less breakage. I don't have nearly as much breakage in my hair as I used to. I don't have any split ends. I cut my hair, I wish you could see. I literally cut my hair, I think, once a year, and there are no split ends. Zero. Even in the spots where like normally there are, zero split ends. So I will say, I don't know if I necessarily feel like my hair is thicker. I will say I feel like it has more volume because those natural oils have now balanced out, and I feel like, you know, the volume is there. But I mean, look at that, is natural, shiny, healthy hair. It is not super greasy. It is not flaky. There's no breakage or split ends. You know, there's like very little flyaways. I will say you got to be careful, again, with your shampoo brush. You're not going to brush your hair. You're massaging your scalp with it. So everyone could be different. You know, once you start encouraging that cell turnover, it will encourage more hair growth. You're stimulating your lymph. You're stimulating those cells in your scalp to grow and to regenerate themselves. So I would venture to say that that's definitely a possibility if you feel like hair loss is something that you manage or work with. But I definitely have less breakage. All right, next question here. Did your hair used to be super frizzy before no poo or dry? I mean, I have curly hair. I think at times it feels more frizzy or dry than other times. This is why I do still condition at times on my lower locks. Again, just trying to avoid the scalp. I do use, again, thank God it's natural, TGIN leave-in conditioner. It's basically a cream that I just kind of put in like this. I don't even do that all the time though. So again, this comes back to what are your intentions? Why is it important to you to go on this journey? What are your expectations? And where are you setting yourself up for potential disappointment? Everybody's journey is going to be very, very different. So there will be times when you feel frustrated. Your hair will look and feel different. So if you are really attached to your hair routine, I would recommend exploring throwing it out the window, right? We are in quarantine. If we go out the house, there's not many places that we're going. Put it up in a cute, messy bun and call it a day. What better time to try it? We were in Panama when I did it, and for those entire 2 months, we were hanging out in a bungalow in Panama. So it was kind of like I didn't really have too many people to see or things to do but my husband, and thank God he's a trooper. But yeah, I don't think my hair was any more frizzy than it was now, which you can see I have very curly hair, but because of my natural oils have come down, I don't worry about it. It's not a super pressing issue. Is any conditioner okay? Yeah, again, remember you guys, your journey is going to be your journey. So this is a great opportunity to talk about shifting from shampoo and conditioner every single day to transitioning to low poo or just water like every other day. So if you've never tried washing your hair with just water before, give it a try. Your shampoo brush is going to be a game changer. I can't say it enough. Go to my website, go to shop. It'll link you to Amazon to get one of these for $6. But yes, I do condition. The key here is that I try to use as low toxic load conditioner as possible, and I try to stay away from my scalp. Does the aloe go on after you rinse your hair, and do you leave it on until the next time you wash? So this is a great question. Using fresh aloe was something that I used during the transition process. I do it now every once in a while, but not too often. It's kind of like if we're nomads. So if, for example, we were in South Florida for the last few months and the water there is extremely hard. It is extremely chemical ridden. It smells like chlorine when you take a shower. And I just felt like my scalp was extremely dry because of it. So I used aloe, fresh aloe. And what you do is you go to the store, you can buy it in, one big bulk leaf, cut it open, scoop out the middle, put it in a blender. Don't add anything, just blend it down until it's a liquid and massage it into your scalp. It'll feel really gooey and sticky at first. For the most part, though, it will completely rub in and absorb into your hair and scalp, and you can just leave it there. Yes, until the next time you wash. I would recommend maybe putting down, using a pillowcase. If you do it at night, put a pillowcase that you don't mind if it gets stained, because it could stain your pillowcase. But there's nothing wrong with leaving aloe in for as long as you want to. If you are going to use shampoo once a month, would you recommend bar shampoos? I have used shampoo bars before. This was years ago when I was in Spain. I actually discovered a shampoo bar. This is kind of what got me thinking about this in the first place. That was when I first transitioned from bottled shampoo to a shampoo bar. What I loved about this one was that it was homemade, and the gentleman who made it could tell me every single ingredient that was in it. I really liked it. He gave me one, I think that had some charcoal in it for my psoriasis and dry scalp. I kind of felt like it was a little too intense for my skin. It kind of made it flare up a little bit more, but being able to travel with a bar shampoo rather than a liquid shampoo was my first aha moment of, why the hell am I traveling with all of these products? And I don't think intuitively they're for me anymore. So yes, I would definitely check out what shampoo bars look like. That is a great transition from liquid. It's gonna give you the same effect though, right? So just make sure it's homemade, it's organic, and it's got good ingredients. Typically, if it's a bar, it's going to be made by someone local. If you can get it at a local farmer's market, that's a great place, or someone that you know who's made it. Typically, the ingredients are going to be more user-friendly than anything else that you buy over the counter. Do I use any hair products, for example, hairspray or dry shampoo? Yes, but not often. So again, I don't need to use dry shampoo anymore because my natural oil, it looks shiny and pretty. It's not excessively oily. Now, if it has been a week and I haven't even wet my hair, or if it's been even say 3 or 4 days, or I worked out that day and I'm going out and I just need a little bit here, I use Primally Pure. You can go to primallypure.com. Be sure to please use the code CH10. You get a 10% discount. That's Chelsea Haynes 10. I'm an affiliate. Again, I do this not because I'm trying to make a huge source of revenue. It's kind of like the Amazon storefront. I do get a kickback for it, but it's not huge. The reason why I do this is because it's an easy source and place for me to be able to say, hey, this is where you go to get the things that I love. So thank you for that little kickback. I don't even know what it is, to be honest, but if you go to primallypure.com, they have amazing products. Their dry shampoo is awesome. It's a powder base and it's super clean. So dry shampoo, if you're using an over-the-counter, like not your mama's shampoo, or not your whatever that brand is, not trying to knock it. It smells delicious. Don't get me wrong. I want to eat it. It smells so good. But if you're trying to lower your toxic load doing no poo, when you put dry shampoo on, if it's full of toxins, you're kind of working against yourself a little bit, right? So I really would highly encourage you, especially during this time and we are in quarantine, try not using it for a little while and save it for the rainy day when maybe we do get to go out to dinner with friends and you need a little, a little love there. I also, when I do curl my hair with a curling iron, I do use hairspray. So I use a flexible hold hairspray. I really like the Moroccan Oil brand hairspray. All hairsprays, at least the ones that I found, are going to be relatively toxic. The ones that I like are going to be relatively toxic. Let's keep it real. I've tried some low tox hairsprays before. They just don't work as good. If anyone has one that they recommend, please share here, put it in the comments, give us your affiliate link if you have one. That's what this space is for. So please share away. But that's also not super often. And when I do that, again, I try to stay away from my scalp. So it's if I'm gonna curl my hair, because my scalp is so healthy, I don't have to curl all the way, I'm not doing a perm all the way to my roots. I'm kind of curling from here down anyway and doing loose, big, wavy curls. So I do a little bit of spray just to hold them all together, and that's about it. The next question is, how do you wash those products out? Again, refer back to how do you wash your hair? Shampoo, brush, and water. That is it. Again, if you really feel like there's a lot of product buildup, try apple cider vinegar and baking soda. I've never done it. I've never had to do it. I went cold turkey, but there's a lot of amazing resources and a lot of people out there sharing a lot of great stuff in regards to the vinegar and baking soda and the actual... I'm kind of like an experiment and fake it till I make it and see how it works. So what I would probably do is just take some vinegar and pour it on my head. There's probably a much more professional way to do it and, use a spray bottle and dilute it with water, I would assume. It's probably what you could do. And same with the baking soda. I would venture to say you mix it with water and put it in your hair, but I'm not 100% sure. How often do I use the aloe? I kind of answered this already, but I did it often during the transition phase away from shampoo completely. And now I do it whenever it feels like my scalp is really dry and my skin needs a little bit of extra love. It feels really good. All right, let's see. Long and greasy. If I shampoo them, avoiding scalp roots, does that reset the clock? I would say no, but in the random times of the last year and a half where maybe I've used shampoo or like I went and got my hair done and I washed my hair, it does feel like it doesn't take as long to bounce back, but I do find that my scalp reacts to it and I do get oily. So again, get yourself one of these. Like for $6, it's a no-brainer and it's life-changing. Now, I mean, you don't want to break your hair, so it's really meant for the top, but maybe you get a wet brush, a regular brush. They're called wet brushes. I have one of those too, to brush your hair when it's wet to prevent breaking. Maybe that could be an additional help. But I wouldn't be worried about resetting the clock, so much so as to get curious about your journey, right? Your journey is going to be different than everybody else. Your expectations and your relationship to your hair is going to be different than everybody else. If you can't tell, I'm relatively low maintenance and I pretty much just kind of rock my curls all the time anyway. So your hair and your journey are going to be your own and it will be different than anybody else. So if you're feeling frustrated or disappointed, send me a DM. I'm happy to kind of laser coach you through that. I will always revert you back to, why are you doing this? If you're doing it just for curiosity, if you're doing it for bragging rights, if you're doing it for low tox lifestyle, like, cool, try it out. But I will always say that if the no poo method is causing you more stress than just washing your hair, it kind of defeats the purpose, right? Washing my hair, blow drying it, doing all the things every single day is just way too stressful for me in the lifestyle that I live. It's just not realistic. And when I set the pressure on myself to like look a certain way and want it to be a certain way, I get like really stressed out and then I get stuck in analysis paralysis and then I never show up to do all the things I want to do. Because I get really stuck in all those beliefs and expectations that I have of how I have to look in order to perform, which by the way is all just bullshit, right? Find your groove, make sure it works for you, set your intentions, and stay true to those. Trying it for the last few weeks, Amanda, yes, not seeing much improvement. So let me ask you, do you have one of these? Give me a yes or no if you've got one, or if you don't. I promise this is game-changing. And there's even been times, this is really important too, there's been times over the last year and a half based on where I am in the world, the condition of the water that I'm using. Yes, you do have one. Awesome. The condition of the water that I'm using and my diet. Guys, your external environment is a reflection of your internal environment. So, I hate to break it to you, but your gut health is going to have an effect on the state of your skin. And your scalp is your skin, right? How much oil you produce, your microbiome of your skin is a reflection of your microbiome of your gut. So optimizing your gut health will 1000% shift what your skin looks like. Insert shameless plug. I am launching my group gut health reset. We start in 2 weeks. Let's eliminate all the bullshit that is creating inflammation in your life. And let's see how it feels to feel good in your body, right? If you feel bloated, if you have diarrhea, if you go back and forth to constipation, if you have super greasy, oily skin, if you have acne, if you have eczema, psoriasis, if you are losing hair or other like alopecia or other autoimmune symptoms, if you have thyroid issues, like let's see what resetting our gut health does for you. I don't wear a ton of makeup as well. Once I optimized my gut health, my skin followed suit very quickly. So I use a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of mascara, my creams and lotions. Again, I now that I'm aging, I had to transition from putting oil on my skin, and I want that oil to come back now to prevent wrinkles. So I actually just just recently started shopping with Beauty Counter. You can go follow Glow On with Sarah. She's my girl for all my Beauty Counter things. Go check her out. She will hook you up with all of the things that you might need for your skincare. Okay, another great question. Can I use hair dye? And then if yes, what brand? So I dye my hair once a year. I treat myself to the salon and I go get a balayage. I really love the natural look, if you can't tell. I do not like the look of, one solid color, so balayage is great for me. I would recommend going to a salon than using boxed hair product. Boxed hair product is just so full of heavy metal and toxins that it will definitely mess up or mess with the microbiome of your skin and of your scalp. So treat yourself, ladies. Save up for, once or twice or however many times a year you want to treat yourself to the salon. And I mean, who doesn't love a head rub? Hello. Like, I don't wash my hair. Can you wash it for me today? And by the way, can you give me a massage while we're at it? Because let's keep it real. That's one of my favorite part about getting my hair did, right? I also, if you have dark hair and grays, you can look into hemp. They make organic hemp hair color. You got to be really careful with it. I don't know anything about it, but I know for someone, for example, like my mom who has super sensitive skin and is very allergic to hair dye, hemp is a really good option. It's primarily darker colors though. So if you have dark brown hair and you're worried about grays and coverage, you can look into, it's hemp? I think it's hemp, right? I'm saying hemp, but now I'm questioning myself, but I'm pretty sure it's hemp hair dyes. If anyone's on here and they know what I'm talking about, please give me a little help here. I'm pretty sure it's hemp hair dyes. I think they come in a block. You melt them down. They make a huge mess, so you gotta recruit help, wear the gloves, and experiment with the organic ways. Why not? I mean, hair dye is hair dye. Worst case scenario, it'll grow out or you can change it. Let's see. Henna! Oh my gosh, yes, thank you. It's not hemp, it's henna. Yes, girlfriend, thank you for that. Forget hemp, it's henna. Organic henna hair dye. Like I said, I think it's typically for darker hair colors, so go check it out. How does well water play into the no poo method? Awesome, very hard water full of minerals, creating so much oil. So, I kind of go back and forth with this one. Again, right, the minerals and whatever's in it might be what's actually helping to remove the products. I prefer, I went over to one of my girlfriend's house in February, Ashley Taylor Wellness. Go give her a shout out. She's got amazing low tox living tips. She has an amazing filter on her shower, and I felt like after using her really, really clean water, my hair was super frizzy. I was like, whoa, this is wild. Because I think normally the water with the minerals and the chlorine and the fluoride and all the things that are really bad for me are in it. They help keep my hair kind of less frizzy. It's almost like the cleaner it is, the more frizzy my hair will be. I have found that for me. I wouldn't overthink it. Use your shampoo brush, use some aloe in your scalp, experiment with vinegar and baking soda to try to get the pH levels of your scalp back in balance. You want to reset that cycle of wash, oil, wash, oil, wash, oil, and repeat, right? We want to break that cycle. So it is going to be a journey. You will be greasy for a while. Reset your gut health. I promise you won't smell as bad. I only really smell when I'm loaded with toxins, right? So it all plays into a role. So, I don't really know how to answer as far as well water, but my answer to the hard water versus the really soft, clean water, I find that it helps me. So if you're newer on the no poo journey, maybe it's just we haven't really totally broken the cycle yet. Get yourself one of these shampoo brushes. Hair rinses, rosemary rinse, greasier and dull. So my question is, how long have you tried it for? And have you ever tried just water? Sometimes less is more. The whole point is that our body is perfect. Our bodies are made in the image of God. Our bodies know what to do, right? If you've never seen or you want proof of the human body knowing what to do, go over to Empowered Birth Project and watch some women giving birth. That shit is crazy. But our body knows what to do is my point, right? So when it comes to detox, when it comes to digestion, when it comes to oil production and sweat glands, the reason why your natural deodorant doesn't work is because you've been using blockers for so long. You gotta let your body detox all the stuff that's creating the oil, that's creating the smells, that's creating the gas, that's creating all these issues. So again, you're going to go through a phase of you might not feel good at first, but then once you break the cycle, you feel great. Stick it out, right? Break that cycle. It took me at least 2 months. 3 washes. Okay, awesome. That's not nearly enough time, honey. Keep with it, right? So try alternating with just water. Guys, 2 months is the minimum amount of time I would say before you start seeing potential shifts and changes and balancing out of your scalp microbiome. And, hitting reset on your gut microbiome, again, insert shameless plug, join me in 2 weeks in order to do that, will amp up and will fast forward the process of the microbiome in your scalp. And using a shampoo brush and encouraging those cell turnovers will help your oil glands to reset themselves quicker. But again, it is a journey. It's not going to be a quick fix. So this is really important, why you got to come back to, why am I doing this? Why is this important to me? Because if you're torturing yourself, if there's no joy in the process, then don't do it. That defeats the whole purpose. Give yourself at least 2 months of trying it out, of sticking it out, of trying it with water and see how you go, right? If you substitute shampoo for something else, you will still be overproducing oil. Try just water for a little while. Give your scalp an opportunity to figure out what it needs to do, what it does best, without stripping it, without taking away the opportunity. It's kind of like intermittent fasting, right? We have to give our gut the opportunity to do what it does best in order for it to do what it does best. But we interrupt the cycle that it's so good at, in this case, by washing our hair super often, that we never give it the real opportunity to recalibrate and to find equilibrium. Great question, Dana. Thank you, sweetheart. What else? Clay shampoo. Yeah, I think this kind of goes back to that shampoo bar that I used, I believe was clay. Clay is very drying. At least from what I know about clay masks, clay shampoo, I stay away from them because anything that's going to cause you to be more dry, it's going to prompt your oil to produce more. We want to give our scalp moisture and give it oil. So I know for the hair professionals out there, earmuffs, because I might get yelled at, I really like using coconut oil on my scalp. By giving my scalp oil, it's prompting my oil glands to not have to work so hard. Maybe Moroccan oil is a better option. I do know that coconut oil is heavy. It will cause problems long-term for the locks, the strands of your hair. But I love using it for a mask. So it's kind of like that jump-starting your oil glands, giving it what it needs so they don't have to work so hard. Just to circle that back around, I believe clay, at least as far as what I know it to be, is very drying. And the more you use it, the more your skin is going to produce more oil. Again, it's like an antacid for the gut. If you have chronic heartburn and you are taking over-the-counter antacids every day, you're really wreaking havoc on your long-term health. So if that is the case, send me a DM and we need to change that cycle. So let me see here. What else? Baking soda to roots help or prolong transition phase for oil control? I do not know the exact answer to this question. So I would love any of you guys who are going on this journey and you're exploring with baking soda. I did this cold turkey and with no help from anybody. Go figure. That's kind of like the Capricorn A-type personality, pitta in me. I'm very fiery and I'd like to just jump in head first. I'm not sure. I think, and based on the research that I've done, baking soda will help if you have very a dandruffy scalp. Dandruff, psoriasis, they breed bacteria on the scalp, right? So your dandruff is coming from bad bacteria and fungus. Sorry, let me reverse that. I said the wrong thing. We want to balance the microbiome of our skin, and we want to kill the fungus. Fungus is not good in our gut or in our hair, on our scalp. So mold and anything that is in your environment that's going to cause fungus to grow in your hair. If you live in a really moist environment, this could happen. The baking soda is going to help kill that fungus on the microbiome of your scalp. So this is the research that I've done. Please know that I've never used this method myself. I might try it. But it's the same concept with vinegar. So if you are transitioning to no poo and you're really struggling with dandruff, then try the baking soda, try the vinegar, because that's going to kill the fungus that is feeding and breeding those extra layers of skin cells that are layering on top and flaking off and causing itching and irritation and all the things and all the problems. Not to mention it's embarrassing AF, right? Like coming from someone who had psoriasis of the scalp, like I never wanted to wear a black shirt for years and years and years. Can anybody relate? Like give me the white clothing because there's nothing else I can do about this right now. Did your hair end up keeping your natural curls better, and did your hair get curlier? So I think the answer is yes. I've always had curly hair, but as you can see, these are all natural curls. The more I washed it with shampoo, the drier my hair was and the more unhealthy it was. The more I stripped it of its natural love, the more just like dead it was. So this is literally, I showered last night. I used wet water and a shampoo brush. I did put a little bit of coconut oil in the ends. I did brush it last night. So this is another thing, guys. Small fact about me, I don't brush my hair every day. It's a little bit annoying because it kind of falls out everywhere, but I do brush it a couple times a week. But I do find that the more I let those curls come back, the curlier it got. So that was a long answer to yes, I do feel like my hair, I feel like the natural curls of my hair hold better and become more curly without shampoo. 14-year-old with terrible issues with dandruff. Yeah, so have them try the vinegar and the baking soda. It could just be a fungus or a mold. Also, it's obviously, again, I can't say it enough, our external environment is a reflection of our internal environment. What is the state of that 14-year-old's gut health? All of our hormones root in our gut, and especially for a teenager who is going through puberty and all of the hormonal changes, optimizing their gut health is going to be really, really, really important for that. So send me a DM if you have more questions about that. Did you shampoo when you get your hair colored? Yes. So I told my hairdresser that I don't use shampoo. She asked me if I wanted to use shampoo, and I said yes, and that was because I really wanted her to wash out the chemicals that she was using to color my hair. Also it's one of those things, it's kind of like, I treat myself to get my hair done once a year. So if you're gonna wash my hair and like do the whole thing, blow dry it, enjoy it. It's never about either or, guys. This is if you're here, if you're new here, by the way, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here. I love you all so much. I really appreciate this community. I put a lot of heart and soul into it if you can't tell. But treat yourself every now and again. Life is all about and more, not either or. Don't sacrifice the things in your life that you really love just to torture yourself to be able to say, well, this is what I'm doing. I really am here to encourage you to lean into your own intuition, lean into what feels good for you. Transitioning to low poo versus going cold turkey might be your thing permanently, right? It might be something where you experiment going back and forth. If you're really trying to like get over the hump and break the cycle of too much oil, I would recommend sticking it through for at least 2 months with, a shampoo brush, or maybe just like a once a week low tox wash. But send me a DM. We can talk more about that. Any leave-in conditioners that detangles for biracial hair? Good question. The one that I really love is called Thank God It's Natural. I believe it's an African-American woman CEO. So like, hell yes, of course I'm all about supporting her. I found this product at Marshall's Home Goods of all places. And then I found her on Instagram, TGIN, Thank God It's Natural. That's the leave-in conditioner that I use for my lower locks. It's like a cream. It's so lush and lovely, and all the ingredients are like very, 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 very clean. So I would go check them out. Looking for your son who is 2. Oh, cute. Got lots of hair. Yeah, I would go check out Thank God It's Natural. Also, if he's 2, just wash with water. Like, let him just grow up with his natural love, right? Like, let the oils be a part of the health and the quality of the microbiome of his scalp and of his hair. He will love you for it in the end. He will be super low maintenance, and those curls will be as beautiful as ever. Thank you so, so, so much, all of you, for being here. Please send me a DM. Go to my website, sign up for the email list if you want discounted pricing on the Gut Health Reset. This has been my journey since 2009. It's my honor to share, all the free content as I can on here. Of course, this is a place, this is a community for us to come together here. So if you want more information, send me a DM. I'm also happy getting on the phone. I love phone calls. So if you have more questions about the Gut Health Reset, or if you're just not sure if this program is for you, send me a DM and we will hop on a call, a 20-minute, super quick question and answer call. I'm more than happy to do that. I love getting to know you guys. I love you all so much. I'm going to wrap it up here, and I will talk to you soon. Mwah! Bye.